What up, YouTube Alayaks? Coming back at you with another custom StarCraft 2 cast. Today, we are casting another best of 3 series from the Custom Scion Races Tournament. This series in particular is from the group stage. So there's 2 stages in this tournament. There's the group stage and then the final stage. So before we get too far, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it's our red Protoss player Gerald going up against his opponent. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's our yellow Genetron player Asur. And Gerald asking Asur, have you played this mod before? And Asur just saying, yeah. So I don't know. To be fair, I don't know Gerald's experience with the Custom Scion Races mod, so this may be an interesting series indeed. Gerald asking about Asur's opinion. Man, and if you guys are new to the Custom Scion Races mod, this mod adds 3 new playable races to the StarCraft universe. It's a super sick mod, and I highly recommend you guys check it out when you get the chance. Now, keep in mind, this is a tournament series, so these players are playing for real moolah, so I expect some crazy plays from these players. And Gerald asking about the Genetron, he's like, I know I'm playing against the Genetron, so, how about them Genetron? Are they any good? I'm just asking for a friend, you know. So we'll see. Asur's not actually responded to that, so he's now playing. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to give you any sort of upper hand. I'm trying to win the big bucks, and he's throwing down a node in Gerald's natural base location. So this is going to get crazy indeed. Gerald has not seen this yet. He's not scouted this, but what is he doing right here? He's also throwing down a proxy pylon. So both of these players playing a little bit dirty. Oh, I love it. I'm all about this, you guys. I love me some dirty StarCraft 2. I've said it in previous casts, but if you guys ever watch me play, if I ever stream or something like that, which I may do in the future, by the way, I punch below the belt, man. I really do. Anyway, what was that? Okay, so we did see the probe come in from the left-hand side. So if Asur was paying attention to the mini-map, he may have noticed that this probe ended up coming in from a little bit too far left. So what that would tell me in this situation is that there's definitely some sort of proxy or potential for a proxy coming from my opponent. Gerald finally scouting what is the node in his natural base location and also throwing down a pylon in the natural base. So this actually may trick Asur into thinking that Gerald wants to expand and is in fact not cheesing. So this is very interesting. Taking a look at the units, we have 2 Stalkers on the field, and we also have 2 Spitfires, and we have kind of a sussy ACR right here as well. What is Asur planning to do? Maybe he's just going to be scouting, and Gerald saying, haha, I thought it would explode. You know what? Maybe that's because of the weird animation that happens. Not weird, but unique animation that happens when you damage Genetron buildings. They start to look like they're glitching out, so maybe he thought it was going to do some sort of AoE damage, but here we go. We have what is going to be a skirmish in the middle of the map. Good control by both players, pulling back their damaged units, but this Spitfire overextending himself just a little bit. One of the Spitfires going down, so now it's 2 Stalkers to 2 Spitfires once again, but we have what is going to be 2 more Stalkers coming from the main base location to the natural base, and we have what is, okay, we also have what is Warp Gate already finished for the Protoss players. So this is going to be a 1 base all in. How many structures do we have? We have 4. We have 4 warp gates. So this is straight up a warp gate coming in from our red Protoss player. I almost said yellow Protoss player, and they're eating these ACRs for breakfast. We do have the forced evacuation from the natural base location and the forced worker pull as well, trying to do some damage to these Stalkers, but this is so many Stalkers, man. How many Stalkers do we have? We have 11 Stalkers to what is 2 Spitfires, and that's it. Oh man, this 4 gate doing work. Asur throwing out the GG, giving the first victory of this series to Gerald. I'll see you guys for game number 2. All right, you guys, welcome to game number 2 for our best of 3 series. Gerald did win game number 1 with a 4 gate, so we'll see how Asur responds in game number 2. Spawning on the bottom right-hand side of the map, it's our red Keiron player, Gerald. He did play Protoss last game, so he's playing Keiron for game number 2. And spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's our yellow Keiron player Asur. So Asur played Genetron last game, so now he's playing Keiron this game. So both players playing Keiron. And Gerald already sending over a scout immediately, and he's going for an early expansion. So Gerald may be going for more of a macro game this round, which, to be fair, cheesing as Keiron is virtually impossible. It's not impossible necessarily, but it's either the equivalent of a cannon rush, or you have to build your citadel, which is your main mining structure, right next to your opponent, because all the warp-in mechanics come directly from the citadel. It's like a hatchery almost. But we do have Gerald running away with his scout, and Asur deciding to send over a scout of his own. And man, I don't know what it is, but the lighting on this map makes the converters look super cool. I don't know, they look really interesting to me on this map in particular. Maybe that's just me though. Anyway, I don't recall if I said I was going to show you guys the monetary rewards for each of the winners for the Custom Scion Races tournament, so I will put it on the top right-hand side of the screen, and I'll also put it in the description below. Now, like I said, if you guys are not familiar with the Custom Scion Races mod, we have three new playable races in the StarCraft universe that are introduced by this mod, and man, it's truly like the StarCraft 3 that we never got. It is so well done. It's created by a modder named Solstice, and I think he also employed the help of his brother as well, and Keiron, who is not playing right now, he is a Custom Scion Races player. He is also the brother of Solstice, so it's like a big family project, and I love it. Now, back to the show. Both players are throwing down their respective expansions. The worker count is slightly in favor of Asur by 4. Army supply is also in favor for Asur by 5. I almost said 4 as well. I was looking at other things, okay, you guys? But we have is going to be a relatively early push. We have the Pulsar followed by the Volts. Now, the Pulsar is a really cool unit. It has kind of a short-range laser beam, but it can shoot and move at the same time so long as it's within attack range. So it is a really cool unit, and we have these Volts running behind. I did not realize the Volts are slower, but this Pulsar, we saw that laser beam right there. We have what are going to be the Pariahs as well. The Pariah is like a mix between the Zealot and the Adept. And there we go. Look at this Pulsar doing some damage, running away, but almost getting surrounded by the converters and getting attacked by these Pariahs. It will go down, and now we have the Volts stuck in a corner as well. They will likely go down. Taking a look at the workers killed though, 5 workers killed in that engagement. We had the Vault also going down. This Pariah with 3 kills, the hero Pariah with its spear. Now, the Pariah is really cool. It has like this short range shade ability, and it's melee only, so it's truly like a mix between a Zealot and an Adept. We also have a Nullifier coming down. So the Nullifier is an anti-ground static defense structure for the Genetron race. What am I saying? What am I saying, you guys? Roast me down in the comments. This is not the Genetron. This is the Keiron. So this is an anti-ground static defense structure for the Keiron. And we have an Echo here as well. So the Echo can use this ability, which I can't remember exactly what it's called, but Gerald saying, what is this? So what happens with the Echo is it can deploy this slowing field, and it can also, with this upgrade right here, it can cloak when it uses this. So I just consulted my notes. So this is Disruptor mode, and the upgrade that cloaks it when it's in Disruptor mode is Dissonance Projector. So this is Dissonance Projector, and this is Disruptor mode. So this is going to be a real pain in the butt for Gerald, because until he gets some sort of detection, this is going to really reduce his income. But we also have the Stratus, which will provide detection for the Keiron. So as soon as this is finished, this Echo will have to either evacuate or it will go down. We have some good scouting for Asur as well, making sure that there's no sneaky golden base for our red Keiron player. And I want to see what Asur does with this Echo. Will he run it away, or will it get destroyed? And here we go. We have the Stratus finishing it. I could have sworn, wait, does the Stratus not have detection? I could have sworn that it had detection, but I guess it doesn't. Oh, what? Okay, so the Stratus may not have detection, so that is rough. And we have another Disruptor field here as well, so Oh, Asur going for a little bit of a cheeky trolley play. And here we go. We have an engagement at the third base location as well. Man, I could have sworn that the anti-air static defense for the Keiron had detection, but I guess not. And here we go. We have a shade into these pulsars, but they will go down. The pariahs will go down, and now we have an evacuation from the third base location. Taking a look at the worker supply, Asur with 55 workers. Gerald with 38, and army supply is at 1 to 36. So Asur with 36 army supply. Now Gerald is down to 0 army supply, and this Echo doing some crazy work this game. Gerald saying GG, but I want to check something. What does he want to check? I wonder if he wants to check what sort of detection he can use to answer this, is my guess. Asur saying, sorry, Asur, look. Don't apologize for a win. A win is a win. Asur saying, my English is not good. Oh, okay, I see. So he can't really explain while he's playing. Fair enough. I was going to say, don't apologize. A win is a win. I do cheesy builds all the time, and I never apologize. I never apologize, you guys. There's nothing to be sorry about. And here we go. I wonder what Gerald is checking. Throwing out the GG, though, earlier, giving the second win to Asur. So it is now 1-1. We are going to be going into game number 3 to see who wins this best of 3 series. I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, you guys, welcome to game number 3 of 3 for our best of 3 series. I had to do some research. The Stratus does not detect the anti-air static defense structure for the Keiron. Does not detect. There is a stationary structure called the Oculus which detects. So it makes sense that Gerald did not realize that, because every anti-air static defense structure in vanilla StarCraft has detection. So in Gerald's defense, he did not realize that. Now, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Even though we're already familiar with them spawning on the bottom left-hand side of the map, it's our red Keiron player Gerald playing the Keiron once again. He did play Protoss in the first round of this series, and going up against his opponent spawning on the top right-hand side of the map, playing Keiron once again as well. It's our yellow player Asur. So let's see what these players have in store for us for game number 3. Like I said, these players are playing for real moolah, so I expect some craziness. And Gerald throwing down an expansion. He has the edifice already finished. This will allow him to build tier 1 units. Now, let's see what our yellow Keiron player is up to as well. Also throwing down an expansion. Like I said, it's pretty difficult to do any sort of proxy play if you're playing the Keiron, but this converter almost going down. This yellow converter hot on its tail, but we have the pariah coming to save the day, and this is really cool, actually. The delay is not nearly as bad if you're being harassed, because you can build at a distance, which I'll show you guys in just a sec. I just want to see if this converter goes down, but it's able to escape. But what I was saying was, check this out. These units can build at a distance. So if you're not familiar with the custom Scion Races mod, the Keiron have to build their structures constantly, but they can do it from a distance, which is really cool. We have the pariahs trying to get this converter, but the converter will run away even with the shade ability, which is really cool. That's one of my favorite abilities for the custom Scion Races mod. I feel like I say that for every ability, though. What do we have on the mini-map right here? We have what is going to be a conduit. So, one thing I want to mention, right after this little skirmish, the Volts running away. Good unit control by both players. Once again, running away their damaged units, making sure they stay alive. And now we have what is going to be the Volts running back home to the support of the other Volts. And now we have the pariahs running away. The Volts hot on their tail, but I do expect the pariahs will be able to run away. They do run slightly slower, but with that shade ability, they will likely be able to run back home. Asur realizing it's a moot point and running back towards his natural base. So structures that are flying are literally flying for the Keiron. So we have the conduit that's literally built over the lava, which is so cool. It's the only race in StarCraft 2 at this point, even though this is a custom race, to be fair, it's the only race which has flying structures that you can build over literally nothing, which is super cool. We have what is going to be a push of 5 pariahs coming towards the natural base location, and we have what is 3 more volts coming in to defend this. So what is Gerald doing? I think he was trying to bait these volts away, and I thought for a second he was going to run his volts into the mineral line for the yellow Keiron player, but it does not look like that is the case. Taking a look at what our yellow Keiron player is doing, he's going for the Echo again. He's going for the Disruptor Field with that Dissonance ability. So we have Dissonance Projector, which will cloak the Echo once it goes into Disruptor mode. So Gerald has to be careful. He has to make sure he has some sort of detection for this round if he wants to be able to handle that. We have the Pulsar in the front right here going down, but Gerald deciding to run away. Taking a look at the resources lost, virtually even. 250 resources lost by red and 200 by yellow. And here we go. I already lost it. We have what is going to be the Echo with its with its Disruptor Field. Oh, that is so annoying to deal with. What Gerald has to do is build he has to build an Oculus or something, because we have another one. Asur, I love it, man. This is such annoying harassment. This is also really unique harassment, because this is not something we see in any of the vanilla StarCraft 2 races, is a giant slowing force field that stays there until you kill the unit that's using it. It's not like a stasis field from the Oracles. I mean, it's kind of similar, but not really. So this is going to really hurt the income. I mean, take a look at the minerals being mined by Gerald. It's literally half of what's being mined by Asur, despite having a very similar worker count. So this is really hurting Gerald's economy. And is he going to build some sort of detection? Taking a look at the production, it doesn't look like he's building any detection at the moment, so he may be going for what is going to be I don't know if he's going to go for a 2-base all-in or what in response to this, but taking a look at the army supply, it's now 35 army supply to 9 in favor of Asur, on top of having the superior economy, and he's expanding on top of this, so he's throwing down a 3rd base. And how many workers are going down? We have 9 workers killed so far. Now we have 12 and 13 workers killed, so this is a huge hit on Gerald's economy, not only with the Echo over his mineral line, but also losing all those workers. Taking a look at the worker supply now, it's 31 workers to 57 army supply, 13 to 22. So I think Gerald's going for a full push at this point in the game. He's like, look, I have to just win or I lose. I lose this best of 3 series. So we'll see what he does. To be fair, this is not the final stage bracket, so this does not put him out of the tournament at all, but this is still something to keep in mind moving forward, is his experience with the custom Scion races. And we have what is going to be the shade towards the natural base, but great reaction time by Asur, blocking it off with the warping of those Cruxes and forcing the retreat on the red Keiron army. And here we go. Gerald forced to run away with 11 army supply to 40, and we still have these Echoes just chilling over the mineral line, and they don't use any energy to do this. They just stay here forever until there's some sort of detection on the field. We also have the Subjector running away. It will go down to the yellow Keiron army. It looks like Asur is coming for blood. He's like, let's finish this. Let us win this game like gentlemen. And man, this is a rough position to be in. All things considered, though, Gerald is macroing pretty well. He does have double, or less than double the army supply. Asur has double the army supply. What am I saying? Asur has double the army supply to Gerald, but Gerald is still, I mean, he's still macroing despite the position that he's finding himself in. And this army doesn't necessarily look super scary if Gerald plays his cards right, but I really don't know what Gerald can do at this point in the game. Losing all of his units, forced to retreat towards his main base, still no detection on the field. I don't know how much time Gerald had in between matches, but I would have researched just really quick what unit or structure gives me detection so I don't lose to this again, because it's clear Asur realized that that Gerald didn't know how to react to that. And as we can see, based on his final response. He's saying, I don't know how to kill this flying unit, and he needs the detection. But anyway, Gerald throwing out the GG, giving the best of 3 series to our yellow Keiron player, Asur. If you enjoyed what you saw, please consider shooting me a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want me to cast any of your own games, I will leave my email and Discord in the description below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.